So in this video, we're going to look at how to translate reaction equations, or simply to go from words to formulas and formulas to words. So this is really pretty straightforward. You're going to take, if it's written in words, you're just going to turn those words into chemical formulas, and then make sure that your arrow goes in the right spot for the reactants and the products, and then you're going to make sure that it's balanced at the end. Going the other direction is even easier because you just have to take the symbols and write the names for all the formulas. Make sure your verbs are in the right place, and then that's it. You don't have to balance if you're going from symbols to words. So we're just going to walk through two examples. Our first example is hydrogen gas reacts with oxygen gas to produce water. So I'm going to go through and just kind of underline, note the different chemicals that I need to make sure I have symbols for. So I have hydrogen gas, I have oxygen gas, and I have water. And then my verbs, I have reacts with, and I have to produce. So reacts with is going to be my plus sign, so that's telling me what's happening on my reactant side. The to produce is going to be my arrow. So anything that's along the lines of to produce or creates or forms, that's going to tell you where your arrow goes, and then what comes after it, those are your products. So hydrogen gas, hydrogen's a diatomic, so it's H2. Reacts with, so I'm going to add a plus. Oxygen gas, oxygen's also a diatomic, so it's O2. To produce, I'm going to put my arrow in, and then water. My formula for water is H2O. So I have my formulas correct, so now I have to go through and make sure it's balanced. I have two hydrogens, two oxygens, one oxygen. So I'm going to add a 2 as my coefficient. That balances my oxygens but changes my hydrogens, so I need a 2 in front of my H2, so now this is balanced. The hardest part of this is going to be making sure that your chemical formulas are correct. If you don't write correct chemical formulas, your balancing isn't going to be correct. It's usually a pretty good sign if you go to balance your translated chemical reaction equation and it doesn't balance, you probably wrote a chemical formula incorrectly. So we're going to rely on those nomenclature rules that we learned in Unit 5, how to write names and how to write formulas in order to do this correctly. So going the other direction, I have symbols down here. So this guy's water and oxygen gas. To produce H2O2 is hydrogen peroxide, which is the common name for the H2O2. So you don't have to worry about the coefficients or anything. We can just write this as water reacts with oxygen. Just to mix it up, I'm going to say to form instead of to produce hydrogen peroxide. So again, we're really just combining nomenclature and balancing chemical reactions. So you're going to take the names and you're going to write the formulas, and then you're going to make sure that it's balanced. And if you're going the other direction, you're going to take the formulas, write the names, and make sure the correct verbs are in the correct spot to represent what's happening in the reaction equation.